Hey there, Steeler Nation. Flip Fisher, staff writer for BehindTheSteelCurtain.com, bringing you another installment of my film studies. Now, this one is obviously the second half of Devlin Hodges versus the Cleveland Browns. What we saw in the first half was a pretty consistent Devlin Hodges, 7 for 11, 108 yards, and the touchdown, first half. And that kind of carried over into the second half. But we were only 1 of 4 in the first half on third downs. But we were he was 7 of 10, 108 yards, and the 1 interception, which we're definitely going to be looking at, right? And he was 3 for 6 on third downs in the second half. Or I should say the team was. Rudolph looked very comfortable for the most part. Now, we saw him make some fantastic throws in the first half. But we also saw him throw some pretty questionable balls in the first half as well. And we're going to see more of both those aspects. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it just because he's an undrafted rookie free agent and a guy who, you know, I wrote a bio on him way back in May. I like Hodges. Doesn't mean I'm going to, you know, wrap him in bubble wrap. Not going to do that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it with him. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's take a look at the film and see what we can find there. Yeah, and the 1st and 10 right out of the gate, third quarter. This is a play I threw this in here because this is a play I really like. You know, we're in the pistol. He's got a sidecar. And it's a nice little trickery play. Now, that Browns player, that is definitely nice staying at home and a great poke out on the ball. But I like the little trickery. Randy Fichtner doesn't get credit. You know, mundane, boring offenses. I like this play. And there was quite a few plays I liked in this game. A nice little throw out. And, you know, he just, the running back made a classic mistake. Got to hang on to that ball. It's about ball security. But I like the play. And it's nothing special about Hodges there. I just threw that in there because I like the play. And I would like to see more of that. Now, here's the 1st and 10. Now, what you're going to see is Hodges going through some great progression here. And finally dumps it off to Samuels out here in the flat. For a very nice gainer. But what was Hodges missing there? Was he missing anything? He had all the time in the world in the pocket, didn't he? Good coverage at the bottom. Good coverage at the middle. Breaking open. But look at all that green. So I get it. It's a nice, safe throw. For a good gain. And you'll see his footwork here. Good footwork. The progression. that head swiveling from side to side. I like that. This is where I beat on Rudolph quite a bit. And I beat on Hodges for this too. Is not going through the progression enough. Dumps it out. Nice first down. Now, here's a fantastic 1st and 10. And this is going to be pass to the top to Washington, who had a monster game. Hodges absolutely drops it right in. Drops it right into the bucket. You know, one of the fun things they showed during training camp is the quarterbacks throwing into that trash can, like, 30 yards down the field or whatever it is. And this is one of those plays right there. One of those practices. Watch this. Drops it right in. Dropped it right in the bucket to Washington. And, it was a big combination between the two. Who made who look really good this game? I think it was a pretty good symbiotic relationship between the two. Hodges threw some very nice passes to Washington, and Washington made some very nice catches. We got a 3rd and 7. You're gonna see Kane up here in one-on-one coverage, and Hodges is gonna throw a perfect fade to him. And the next view will show this a little better. See the laundry on the turf there. Yeah. This is a perfect fade pass to Kane, but he can't get his hand on it because of the parents. Defender has a hand, but it was perfect. And this is something I can only think of seeing one other time in the end zone. Rudolph threw the fade, and I don't remember who caught it in the Rams game. Somebody let me know in the comments who it was in the Rams game. Might have been Washington. I don't remember. But that's the only second time this season I remember seeing a fade in the end zone like that. And why aren't we seeing them? I don't know. Don't know. But it's definitely a play I would like to see more of if Hodges is going to remain this accurate. 2nd 11. I don't like that he throws so soon. This is where I talk about letting the play develop. And he dumps it off. Yeah, y'all know that I kind of bashed on Rudy for getting that ball out of his hand too soon. And look what's breaking over the middle here. Wide open. Wide open. Now, we've seen these deep crossing or deep crosser route like that. We saw that last week in the Cincinnati game. But he's got to be a little more patient. That really went nowhere. Yeah, and that was 2nd and 11. Take your time. Wait for the play to develop. You'll see his pocket here. Now, is he dumping that because the guy pressured him from behind? Oh, if he did, he shouldn't have. That was the reasoning. Because the pocket was still clean. Step up in the pocket. We talked a lot about that with both quarterbacks. That they don't step up in the pocket enough to keep themselves even cleaner pocket. We get the next play, 3rd and 7. Now this is just a headsy play. Now, when I first saw this, of course we don't get the all 22 view. It's like, geez, why is he taking off? 3rd and 7. But you can see it right here. There's nothing in the middle. And we were actually talking on the forums today. Does he ever run to the left? Well, here's a bit of a scramble to the left. And look at all that real estate. Hey, I'm not gonna, criticize him too much for sliding too soon, because I've criticized Hodges for not sliding enough. I think that's his first slide I've seen him do since the preseason. But you see that huge hole there, and nobody was in the middle of the field. That's easy yards. It's just a gift. It's saying, come and take the first down. Now here's the 3rd and goal, and we all groaned when we saw this unfold. Now, here again, he's going to roll out to his, and what's he doing? What's he doing? Oh my! You're going to see it a little more in the next play. I'm going to applaud him for not being like Xavier Grimble, and at least he has the ball in the hand closest to the boundary. I'll applaud him for that. But what in the world are you doing? Don't throw that. Don't throw that. Don't throw that with your left hand. Don't even try. And it really kind of falls out of his hand. I don't know what he's thinking. Was he actually trying to throw right there? I mean, if so, that's just terrible. Was he trying to just spike it? Don't do that. Don't do that again. That's an absolute knucklehead play right there. I do like the rollout to the left. Just I don't do that. Here's a 2nd and 10, and he's going to Johnson here, and I'm not exactly sure. We're going to be at the top here, and he's going to have an overthrow, and had the right target, but he just overthrew that. Kind of overthrew it, in a really dangerous spot, where Johnson's in the zone there, so there's a guy under and a guy over. And I'm not sure if he did any progressions. It was a bit hard to tell, or if he was just locked on the whole time. But that's a bad overthrow. Here we got a 3rd and 15. And what do you do on 3rd and 15 when you have a clean pocket? You roll out of it and check down. No, you don't do that. Let this play develop. I knocked him in the first half for rolling out. Why roll out? Stay right there. Wait for this play to develop. There's no reason to throw this ball. We got a guy breaking over the middle. It's just being a little antsy. Take your time. He sometimes just feels the pressure that's not there. And why get all mobile? Why, keep that pocket around you. He's fine. Why move? He's got time. And I understand, playing field position there. Because we punted from there. Okay. Now, here's a play that there was a lot of debate on. There has been. This is going to be the interception to Johnson. And what's your take? Who's responsible for the interception there? Who is responsible for that? The guy who throws it or the guy who's supposed to catch it? Well, here's going to be my take. Is previous one. Whose fault do I put it on? I put it on Johnson. Even though I did hear Hodges come out and say it was on him. Well, Hodges, what quarterback have you ever heard say, oh, that's the wide receiver's fault? He didn't know the play. He ran the wrong route. It's all on him. What quarterback is going to throw his wide receiver underneath the bus? So, you can believe what Hodges says, or for me, the way I take it is, and I didn't actually hear that first person. Somebody else said that. So I don't know 100% if that's fair. But how I'm going to take it is, the quarterback hears the play called in. The quarterback calls the play in the huddle. What are the odds of the quarterback knowing that play, throwing it to the right spot? I'm going to take Hodges' side on that one. But the biggest problem I have with this is how Johnson reacts. And, enough people have beat on Johnson about what was he doing? Lollygag. Oh, whoa. And, it cost us 15 yards in field position. And I'll give Johnson kudos for getting back into the play and making the tackle. I'll give him kudos. But holy smokes, we're at our 30 now. They're at our 30. This could have been a tremendous game changer. And it wasn't. So hopefully they'll work on the communication a little more. What do you guys think? Whose fault was that interception? Okay, so we got 3rd and 6. Now this is something we saw in the Chargers game, where he's going to throw short of the line to get. That's the quick hitter to. Oops, my bad. Hold on. Okay, so here is a 3rd and 6. I like that we got Vance McDonald involved in the game. But the thing I don't like about this is 3rd and 6. And yeah, I understand about letting your players make plays. This is a pretty crucial time. And McDonald is just a good athlete and gets there. Now, take a look at this a little. I do believe this is a more of a design play than to McDonald. That we were not going to let this play. And luckily, McDonald is a good athlete. and gets the first down. But 3rd and 6, come on. Let's at least throw it to the line instead of having to struggle for it. So we got another 3rd and 6. Now, here again, people did some debating about, this is late in the game. Should he take a sack here and run another 30 seconds off the clock? Well, problem with that is clean pocket. Holy smokes. Look what we got up here. Washington, blown coverage. And Rudolph never sees it. I mean, sorry. Hodges never sees it. And, throughout the play, he doesn't have anything to throw. They got good coverage, except for the absolutely blown coverage up to Washington. And, again, why move the pocket? Why move the pocket if you don't have to? It's a clean pocket. Step up. Don't step out. He steps up and he gives himself more time to possibly see Washington. Look at that. I mean, he's got all that area right there. Washington. Not a guy within 20 yards of him. Take your time. And then, he throws it away, doesn't take the sack. And I'm not going to nitpick him on the sack thing. Not going to do that. Another 30 seconds. Well, could it have made a difference? Well, sure it could have. I believe Cleveland was out of timeouts. Or maybe they had one left. Could it have cost us the game? Sure it could have. And people were calling for the same thing in the Cincinnati game. And, you just saw him. He took a pretty big hit there. And, he took an unnecessary hit. He should have just went down. But let's take a look at something here. So that's it for the film for this week. Let's look at the Steelers since the bye week on how we've done on drives. We were 5 of 11 versus Miami. That's pretty solid. Miami was a dumpster fire when we were playing them. I believe they have 3 big wins right now. We scored on 5 out of 11 drives versus the Colts. One of those was the cheap field goal right at half. But that's still good. 5-11. Those 2 games were with Rudolph. We scored on 2 of 14 drives versus the Rams. And our touchdown drive was helped out by defensive pass interference when we ended up getting our touchdown. That play, Rudolph was off. Then with Rudolph in the Browns debacle a couple of weeks ago, scored on 1 of 14 drives versus the Browns. So that's the first game. Then as a team, we scored on 4 of 12 drives versus the Bengals. Well, we scored on 3 of 6 drives with Hodges against the Bengals. We're going to get to the Cleveland game. We scored on 4 of 9 drives. But what we're seeing with Hodges, it's not only that we're scoring, getting more scores on these drives, but we're getting the touchdowns. We're scoring touchdowns. No, that's something that we weren't getting with Rudolph. Rudolph was killing her drives. Not with turnovers, not necessarily with turnovers. He had the one with Cincinnati, but before that, he was actually pretty good with the ball in the red zone. But we couldn't move the chains once we got into the red zone. And now we are. And I'm not going to put it all on Hodges. It's not all on Hodges. We're seeing a running game going right now. But we also just played, 2-4 running defenses in both the Browns and Cincinnati. So it's not all on Hodges. But here's a question that I've been asking so much throughout most of the season since Rudolph had taken over. Did we win this Browns game because of Devlin Hodges or in spite of? Well, you want to blame him for that interception, I guess it might be in spite of. But for me, when he's efficient, completing 67% for 212. 212's nothing special. Definitely low end of the spectrum for your fantasy footballers. But he's not costing us wins. He's not getting in the way. That defense is not having to work so hard. We're not having to hope and keep our fingers crossed for 2 turnovers each week right now with Hodges. Is it nice that we get the turnovers? Absolutely. But I don't think most in Steeler Nation right now think that we have to have turnovers to win these games with Hodges at the helm right now. Now, it's definitely not all, roses by any means. With Hodges, we saw the first half, him rolling into pressure. Yet we didn't see that the second half. We saw some nice running plays, a couple of nice running plays of his in the second half. But we saw a huge bonehead move towards the goal line where whatever he was doing with that ball in his left hand, whether he was trying to throw it, whether he was trying to spike it, whether he was, I don't even know. Don't know what he was doing with it. We saw him not go down and burn another 30 seconds off into the game. But we're also seeing some of the good things. The working through the progression. Like seeing that. Taking those chances on those one-on-one coverages. And then dropping them right down the smokestack. Right down the pipe to James Washington. Like seeing that. The use of Vance McDonald. Where's that been all year? We're taking on the Cardinals this coming week, and I believe they are the worst team against tight ends. And they're also I believe, the 32nd worst team against the pass. So how's Hodges going to fare? Well, I'd say if he's under 200 yards, that oh boy, something bad has happened, or maybe we didn't need him and our defense jumped up 21-0. We kind of put it on cruise control. No, I don't know. Well, what I expect out of Rudolph this week, I would not be shocked to see close to a 300-yard performance touchdown. I would say maybe anything under definitely under 225 would be disappointing. against this terrible defense. I would love to see, Tomlin and Fickner just say, how about it? Go, go duck wild on them. Go crazy. Get those slants going. Get those outs going. Get that deep ball that he's dropping into the wideouts. Let's see that. Let him loose. Take some chances. Unless you want to keep it conservative and not give Buffalo any film for the following week. So there it is, Steeler Nation. There's the second half with Devlin Hodges against the Browns. Hopefully you all are enjoying this. If you are, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I'm okay with that too. And be sure to subscribe because earlier in the week I put up a little Bud Dupree cap article on can we actually keep him for next year. And I'm hopefully going to put up an article or another video on Saturday. Might even go get all wild and crazy and go live on Saturday night. Oh. And also, ring that bell to get notified. Actually, smash that bell to get notified when I go live or when I put up new content. All right, all. This has been Flip Fisher, staff writer for BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. Thank you all for watching. Laters.